Hi, welcome to my series on how to play great songs. This guitar lesson features a song by the Beatles called I'm Only Sleeping. I'm Only Sleeping starts right with the first verse. There's no intro per se, so just count off a measure of 4. And you start with the E minor chord and play that for a measure. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. And then go to A minor for a measure, G for a half measure, and then C for the other half of the measure, and then back to G for a half measure or 2 beats, and then B7 for a half measure or 2 beats to round out the first line. So once again, the first line goes E minor, A minor, G, C, G, B7. And then it goes to the second line, which starts the same way. E minor to A minor, and then G and C for a half measure each. And then G and C again for a half measure each. And then you add another measure of C, a full 4 extra beats here to account for the backing vocals which come in, where it goes float upstream. So you add an extra measure of C in there. So putting the second line together, you got E minor to A minor, G, C, G, C, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're ready for the next part that goes, please don't wake me. That's G for a measure, and then A minor for a measure, and B minor for a measure, A minor for a measure, and then round it out on C major 7 for a measure, and then pull a little upstrum palm mute there after the measure's over. Just stop it on the offbeat there, and it gives you a little space to do this bass lick in here. Now if you don't have the bass player, you just do it on the guitar. It's so that's 0 to 3 on the 6th string, 2 on the 5th, 3 on the 6th string. Just those 4 notes before going to the E minor, which starts the second verse. Going through that little bass lick in its right rhythm, you got C major 7, and then you're right into the second verse, which is the same as the first verse. So you got E minor to A minor, G, C, G, B7, back to E minor, then the A minor. And this time you go G, C, G, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then G to A minor, to B minor, to A minor, and then to C major 7, so that's the second time through. When you get to that break a second time, you do a version of the break that's a little bit longer. It starts out the same way with the C major 7. And then you add to it this upstrum, a slow upstrum of the E minor chord. And then hold that for the full measure. 2, 3, 4. And then you start the next measure with the lick in the bass that goes like this. And so that's 0 to 3 on the 6th string, 2 on the 5th string, and 2 on the 4th string. And that's how you know you're ready to go into the bridge part. So doing that part in its right rhythm, you got and then the bridge. The bridge goes with a D minor 7. That's the 1st fret on the first 2 strings and the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and open 4th string, D minor 7. You play that for a measure. And then you go to E for a measure. Now this is E major, not the E minor that we were doing earlier. So do E for a measure. And then A minor for a half measure. And then for the second half of that measure, you keep the A minor and just add G in the bass with your pinky here. And then the 4th measure is 1 strum of F major 7. And you hold that for the full measure, putting the bridge in its right rhythm. We got to go D minor 7 to E to A minor, G in the bass, F major 7. And then when you hit that E minor, that's you starting the 3rd verse. Now the 3rd verse is going to be like the other 2. It's E minor, A minor, G, C, G, B7, E minor. And right here, it kind of goes into a backwards guitar solo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Please don't spoil my day. I'm miles away and after all I'm only sleeping. And so on the 3rd time through there, you play it just like you do the 2nd time around. It's the longer version of the break. And then back to the bridge. So after you do the bridge the 2nd time, you round out the song by just playing the 1st verse of the song again. And when you come to the end of that one, you'll wind up on the C major 7 here, sleeping. And you just sort of end it there. You do one final bass lick on it, just sort of improvise it. One final E minor, and then you're done pretty much. So, I hope you enjoy that one. Well, there you have it. I'm Only Sleeping, a John Lennon penned song from the album Revolver. Stay tuned for more tutorials in my series on how to play great songs.